right next to that. That would be the top layer of the controller. Let me talk a little bit about the 500-watt amp. The amp 43040 contains 4 pulse-width modulated amplifiers for driving brush and brushless servos. This amplifier is very similar to the amplifier that attaches to the 21X3, but it's a different shape. So you can't mix and match DMC-21X3 accessories with DMC-4000 accessories. Okay? So this is a new amplifier based on the same circuitry, but different shape, that's designed specifically for the DMC-4000. The specs are the same. You get 7 amps continuous, 10 amps peak, 20 to 80 volt DC operation. This is per axis. And now this amplifier actually can be configurable for either inverter or chopper mode. Inverter mode is usually better. It gives you better linearity, and you'd want to use that if you have a real high resolution application. The chopper mode is good for if you're running low inductance motors. So now the amplifier is configurable for both modes. And as we mentioned, 2 amplifiers can be used side by side on an 8-axis controller, so 2 500-watt servo drives. Other drives will be available for this product, for the DMC-4000 in the future. So by January, we will have other drives such as the stepper drives, the microstepping drives, and the smaller servo drives. Those will all be available as options for this product. Any questions?
Yeah, Lisa, question on the board. The configurable for inverter or chopper mode, that would be per board or per axis?
Per axis.
Per axis.
Yes.
Is that with a jumper, or is that with a software command? Or?
It would be with a software command. And right now we have the data sheet online, but in a few weeks we'll have the command reference online, so you'll see some of these new commands to configure the amplifiers, in addition new commands to write to the display. So let's look inside the amplifier board. I just wanted to show a close-up. This would be the 8-axis controller box, and you can see there's 2 4-axis 500-watt drives sitting there side by side. Okay, let's talk about part numbers. This product has a different part numbering scheme than our other products. So when you order a DMC-4000, you're not going to just say DMC-4000. You're going to have all these other things appended to it. So the DMC-4000 really just specifies the CPU board, where the X gives you the number of axes. The next thing you want to specify is the communication board, and I know right now we only have one, the one with the Ethernet port and 2 RS-232s, but in the future we'll have some other models of communication boards. So you always want to make sure you have this -C012 for the communication board that you need. Same with the interconnect board. Right now we have just D types, but in the future we'll have some other types. So with this model, you want to make sure you specify the -I as part of the part number. And if you want to get the amplifier, you specify -A, and by January we'll have other amplifiers. And the product is available with the shunt regulator, so you would order it with the shunt regulator, and we would load that inside as well. So you can see here at the bottom, the complete part number for a 3-axis controller is DMC-4030-C012-I000-A3040, and that would be your complete part number. Any questions on that? Okay, so here you can see the 8-axis part number is much longer. We still have the DMC-4000 for the CPU board. We still have 1 communication board, but this time you're going to have 2 interconnect boards. So it's going to be -I000-I000. Those are for the 8-axis. And then you're also going to have 2 amplifiers if you decide to use Galil amplifiers. So here's the standard part numbers that we have with this initial release of the product. And this part number list will be growing as we add communication options and interconnect options and amplifier options. Any questions on the part numbers?
Lisa?
Yes.
Is there a way to configure this for dual encoder mode on any number of axes?
Yes, the controller provides 2 encoders per axis. So you will be able to, get, if you buy an 8-axis controller, you get the ability to take in 16 encoders. Was that the question?
Yeah, I
No, it comes standard.
Okay, good.
Okay? Any other questions? Okay, so we're going to get into the pricing of the product, and I want to point out once again that the DMC-4000 isn't a replacement for the 21X3 Econo controller. The DMC-21X3 is a very popular controller. It's one of our most popular controllers. We sell a lot of this controller, and the 21X3 is really a modular card-level type product. So you could think of that as sort of a Honda motion control, whereas the DMC-4000 is a full-featured motion controller in a box, so that's more like the Lexus. So one doesn't replace the other. So really, the DMC-4000 is targeted for OEMs who need a more full-featured box-level controller or who need the enhanced performance such as faster command processing and higher sample rates. That's how we position the product. And as I mentioned, you don't want to interconnect boards or amplifiers between the products. They're totally separate products. We've priced this product similar to the PCI Accelera controller. So the pricing here is very close to our PCI Accelera product, and I want to remind you that this product doesn't need the 100-pin high-density cable, and also the price includes the interconnect boards, which are inside the box. So then a 4-axis controller in quantity 1 is $22.95, and if you want 4 500-watt drives inside that box, it would be $700 more, or $29.95 for the complete package. And in the 100 quantity, that would go down to $15.95. Any questions on pricing? Let me point out one other thing, is that, as you know, the DMC-4000 and also the DMC-18X6 are Accelera controllers. We're using a new microprocessor that's quite a bit more powerful. So we're taking advantage of that, so some of the commands have been enhanced. So I do want to point out that if somebody has a DMC-21X3 controller, for example, and they want to take that program and run it on a DMC-4000, they would have to tweak it a little bit. And the main thing you'd want to tweak is to make sure the PID values are calibrated. So you want to multiply the KP and KD by 4, and divide the KI by 2 to get equivalent values. And we do have an application note that describes the differences in some of the commands, and this really is going to give you some more enhanced features. So let me talk a little bit before I open it up to questions about the scheduling of this product. We just announced the product today. Actually, we did a mailing of our ServoTrends newsletter, so we announced the product today. Our website is live, so you can go log in and see the DMC-4000 webpage. You can also download the PDF of the data sheet, and you can go ahead and print that out and hand it to customers. We will have a printed data sheet in our 2007 catalog, which will be available in January. So in the meantime, just go ahead and make copies of those off your printer. The product is scheduled to go into beta release the first week of October. So if you have a customer that is already familiar with Galil controllers and wants to try the DMC-4000, give me or Mark a call, and we can see if they qualify to be a beta test site. So we'll be in beta test for a few months, and during that period we'll also be designing the other amplifier products that will go with this. And by January we should be fully released. And we're also doing press releases as well right now, and the advertising is going to start in January. Do we have any questions? No questions? Okay, well, I thank you very much for attending, and if you do have any questions that come up, please feel free to give us a call. Thank you.